Hey everybody, Felix Stauffelbaker here. Not sure if this is working or not, but we're going to test this out. I'm going to text out the link and see if it's working. If you have a question, you can put it in the chat, and after I'm finished, we can go over them and see what's going on. All right, it looks like it's live. I'm going to tweet this out. Wait a couple minutes for some people to show up. Yep, Ryan went with the EOS scarf. Know what's up. All right. Okay. See if we can get just a couple more people in here real quick, and we're going to get started. Okay, let's see. I have a summary of the EOS Node 1 US business trip. This is by Mark Shear, and he posted on violet.garden. And let's see. This I started to read it and it kind of caught my attention. I wanted to go over it live. So it starts off and it says American Crypto Fed DAO, America's first legally official DAO, preparation of EOSIO based stablecoins free from inflation and deflation. Many American companies, including Delta Airlines, the three major American airlines, participated in the conference. Currently, we are negotiating with state-level and country-level municipalities such as Miami County, Texas, Tennessee, and Wyoming in the United States to receive their own stablecoin for taxes. We are responding with SEC compliance as our top priority. Scheduled to connect with EOS mainnet later. Google Cloud. Google Cloud is participating in only a very small number of blockchains, including EOS, among many blockchains. EOS was evaluated fairly positively through Google's internal revenue. We see the potential of EOS as high. Google Cloud intends to become top 21 of the EOS mainnet. Specific strategies are under study. We want to make a technical contribution to EOS. Google has good infrastructure, so they can provide a good API node for EOS or do anything technical. If the Korean exchange participates in the voting, it will be a good for Google. Google wants to help with that. When voting on the EOS mainnet of the Korean exchange, interest of about 10% per annum can be paid to EOS holders, exchanges, and personal wallet holders. Annual interest rate has not yet been finalized and is subject to change. EOS DeFis can pay 10% interest in addition to the interest they provide. As Google becomes the EOS mainnet BP, there is also a marketing effect of the EOS mainnet where Google produces blocks. It is possible to check the exchange cartel BP and can create a healthier EOS ecosystem. The possibility of evolution is predicted to limit the role of BP to block production and separate governance roles. It is the voting of the Korean exchange that will actively activate the signs of change that are now sprouting in various fields such as Foundation and Eden. Expect the entire EOS mainnet ecosystem to turn in a positive direction in an instant. Importance of Eden. Direct incentive payments to Eden members who achieved identity verification and reputation, specific dApp usage rights, inflation, and compensation. Holders who are sincere about EOS should join Eden as soon as possible. The further back you go, the harder it is to sign up. Eden has a limited number of people. If the number of Korean Eden members increases, it is possible to solve the language barrier by launching a Korean Eden community activation of the domestic EOS ecosystem. From next week, we will wait for an hour every Wednesday and Friday at 10 p.m. for Eden invitations, and we'll host Zoom call for those who wish to join Eden. There will be separate notices related to domestic voting within 1 to 2 weeks and will be announced. You can find them on Twitter, I guess. The handle is at Eden _ DAOKR. And then Brock Pierce. Brock Pierce is gearing up for a surprise for the EOS community. At the meeting, we made several phone calls and proceeded with many big deals related to EOS. Brock Pierce, the time has finally come. And this was a post. That's actually the first time I read it. I read about the first paragraph and thought that it would be good to read publicly. And I mean, this is outrageous, outstanding, outrageous. And it's on Violet Garden. Again, that was Mark Shear with the must-read EOS Node 1 key summary of U.S. business trip translated into English. And I thought that was phenomenal. We can go through some of the stuff that was in here. Something that initially caught my eye, which made me want to bring this up to the stream, was right off the bat, it said many American companies, including Delta Airlines, and the 3 major American airlines participated. So that tells me that, potentially the FAA and anybody who is involved in, having regulations with airplanes and things like that, all those people are going to participate in this EOS phenomenon, and it looks like are already actively participating, is at least the airline companies themselves. And once they get hashed out, they're going to be compliant with everything that's under the FAA and the SEC and the FCTC or whatever it is. So everything's going to be compliant. These people aren't doing this for no reason, is what I'm getting at. These people know what they're up to. Currently negotiating with state level and country level municipalities. These are block producers, working with these companies. And right now it looks like it's heavily leaning towards America. But if you look, Miami County, Texas, Tennessee, Wyoming, that pretty much spans a good portion of America. And all these people at this level are working with an EOS block producer. That's pretty big. And then they go on to say that they're working, with Google Cloud and saying some of the things that I was saying early on, that they were trying to become a 21 block producer. They were building out the history to be able to have an API node. I literally made a video saying that they were archiving the entire blockchain to be able to run a node and have the full history. So, I mean, this is literally exactly what we thought it was, exactly what we had invested for, and why we thought this was a great opportunity. And now we're seeing it play out that this really is. And now we're starting to see that there's the opportunities coming in a big way that is going to be basically waves, a giant wave that most people aren't ready for. And we'll get to that. But this talks about, voting with the Korean exchange, uh, and basically just talking about how it can benefit the EOS mainnet and everybody. And then, obviously the importance of Eden and getting on with that. And, at the very end, they say that Brock Pierce is gearing up for a big surprise. And I don't think that is an understatement, but I just think that we're not really knowing what they're cooking up here with this. I know Brock is connected to so many people that it could be unreal. Here's just a prediction based off reading this for the first time off the top of my head. I'm thinking he went down to El Salvador after the Bitcoin announcement that they were making it legal tender. Why couldn't they also legalize EOS as tender? Why couldn't another country in South America or Latin America make EOS legal tender? It could be Venezuela. And they already have 1,100 places on EOS marketplace accepting EOS as currency. So why couldn't that country do it? So that just perks my attention and gets my gears really moving and thinking and wondering what could potentially be going on with Brock Pierce. I mean, that's only going to be good. There's nothing that is going to come from that won't benefit EOS as a whole. So, I just wanted to make a little video about that because I thought that was really interesting. And I thought that, there was a need to be able to explain that. So I'm going to go look at the chat for a second. If you've got any questions or anything, or want me to answer anything, I mean, I'm not really sure why people would want to ask me anything or anything like that, but I'll answer any questions to the best of my ability. I'm not connected with Block One. I've never talked to Block One. I sent them a couple of emails in 2019 to try to get permission to use the chestahedron on some articles of clothing I was trying to do. But other than that, I've never talked to him. I've talked to Brendan a couple of times through tweets where he's responded, but I don't work for them. I'm not affiliated with them. I've never signed an NDA. I've never been told not to talk about anything. I don't know Brock Pierce. I have talked to him a couple of times. I don't know any of these people. I'm literally just a regular guy who just looking on the internet, found all this information and couldn't ignore it, and seen a lot of people not seeing what I saw. So I wanted to tell them what I saw to maybe see if they could see it too. So that's where we're at. And, I think there's a really huge opportunity, and it's just right here, and we're seeing it right now. So I have a little surprise if you guys want to see a uh, belt, EOS Championship belt that I had made a while back. Um, there's a couple questions in the chat. Let me answer these first. Let's see, have you looked into Anchor Protocol? Not the protocol itself. I use Anchor Wallet though, and it's phenomenal. It's fantastic. It's probably the standard once link or links stopped being supported. Do you understand how they sustain a 20% APY on a AUST? Is there any EOS project that aims to do something similar? I'm not sure, but 20% sounds awfully crazy. I know, like, it's just probably a risk more than anything. Like when you look at things like BlockFi, stuff like that, lending service, outside of something like a Rex, that's like a smart contract where it just literally has a Ricardian contract and does what it says it's going to do. Um, BlockFi is a huge risk. You're risking giving your Bitcoin to somebody else in hopes that they will give it back when you need it and take care of it for 3 to 4% when Bitcoin on average goes up 200% every year, year over year for the past decade. There's no reason to put your Bitcoin at risk for 3% when you can capture 200% holding it yourself every year by just holding it. So I don't know. I would just, outside of the Rex and what Bullish has going on because of the compliance and everything that's going on with that, I would just steer clear of most lending services. But that's just me. That's literally just me. That's my answer to that question. All right. And then it says, is the belt made of tungsten? No. Let me go grab that tungsten cube really fast. All right, check this out. So this is a 1.5-inch tungsten cube. It weighs 2.2 pounds, a full kilo, and I don't think you realize how dense and how heavy this little guy is. This thing is ridiculous. Like, it's almost therapeutic because it's so heavy. Like, you just set it in your hand and it's just like, it's so dense. It's hard to explain it. It's so hard to explain it. But the second you touch it, you get it. That's the only way to explain it is the second you touch it, you get it. It's just crazy. I picked it up and was just like, whoa. I don't know if you can. I'm going to drop it in my hand. I mean, that's some weight. Yeah, it's a beefcake. And it's just super solid. I think it's Midwest tungsten or something like that. I don't have other elemental cubes, but they have like a whole set. It was really expensive for some of that stuff. What caught my attention with this was there was a tweet about a NFT that was a tungsten cube on OpenSea by the same company, and it's a 14-inch tungsten cube. So this is 1.5 inch. So imagine a foot plus 2 inches, and it weighs like 1,750 pounds, and they have an NFT of it on OpenSea that you can win, and then you can redeem it for the real cube, and then that interested me in going and looking and checking it out, and then seeing what people were saying, and I ended up picking one up, and this thing is really, really cool, like really cool, like unnecessarily cool. I don't understand why it's cool, but I just, ever since I got it, have been messing around with it. It's pretty great. All right, so here is the EOS belt. All right. Let's see if we can see. So there is a it's hard to see. Let's start reflective. I'll have to find a way to show this. There's on both ends there's the chestahedron, and then this one is a snapshot of the Genesis block and all basically the transaction that happened, the date. Here, I'll just read it. Block number 1, summary, irreversible, block height 1, previous, next. Timestamp, June 8, 2018, 3:08:08 a.m. CST. Block ID 0000001405147477 AB2F5F51C DA 7B63819 1C6D2C59AA392D5C2C976CD0. And that's the transaction ID for the first one. And then, of course, we have the front. It says the blockchain champion, and it says EOS. And I drew all that and had the company make it up. This is pretty hefty too. It's on alligator leather strap, and it's gray. I thought it looked great, like EOS colors. So you just put this on and walk around like a beefcake. And EOS is the blockchain champion, so you got to have a championship belt. I don't think Ethereum has a championship belt. This thing is dope. The thing is super cool. I'll have to do a video where I'm like wearing it in the woods or something, or where I'm like in a field body slamming something, or like jumping onto a table or something. We'll have to see. I have an idea for handfuls of skits, little things that I want to do. I want to do like a cooking skit, or I bake some blockchains. Like I want to do a rant where I'm a fourth industrial revolution baron, like talking down to the plebs who don't understand the master plan of what's going on, and just like be ignorant about it. I want to do one of those parodies of the that Island Boys, where they're like the Island Boy. I want to do an EOS version of that. There's a few other little things I've got in mind for some skits and stuff. It's just finding the time to do it. I want to eat some caviar. Like the supply chains and the supply lines are like getting very messed up. So with the caviars for FUDs campaign, where I was going to eat some lavish food to show the haters, because people have paid into it and there is money in there. I want to use it. So in case supply lines get messed up and stuff, I'm going to try to start eating some lavish food in anticipation. And then obviously after EOS actually pops off, but I want to get a front run on that and everything. I just got a lot of stuff I want to do. So we're about to enter the best part of this uh, cycle. If you've never been part of a bull run, this is going to be crazy. It's going to be the best part. So just hang in there. Let's see. Mastermind. I've been selling EOS on every pump and buying other coins that have a 5 to 10x potential. Don't want to miss the whole bull run holding EOS. Darrow is what I've been buying. Oh man. Yeah, good luck with that. All right. So I wouldn't do that. I know there's no question in there, but okay. I needed that. All right. So I don't know. There's not a whole lot else I really want to say. I've got about a dozen or so, probably 2 dozen ideas for videos and little things for videos. It's just sitting down and doing it and finding the time. So I guess I'll sign off here. And this was pretty cool. So if nobody else has any questions about anything, I'll go ahead and end this stream, and it looks like it works. So you just wait here a couple of seconds and see what's going on. You can see that tungsten cube again. This thing is really crazy. It's so small and it doesn't really look like much, but I'm telling you, like, this is 2.2 pounds. Crazy. I'm super bullish on EOS. Nothing's changed for me. It looks fantastic. I'm still all ready to go. There's now we're literally in the crosshairs. The trigger is being pulled. We're just waiting for the dust to settle. And when it does, I think EOS will be at the top, right, with Bitcoin. And it looks like, with compliance wise, a couple of others that I didn't even suspect, at least the 5 that are on bullish and stuff like that. When we take profit, I'm actually using the CBBI indicator that Colin made, using that one with the Google indicator, the Google metric or whatever, when you the fear and greed index, plan B, coin metrics. There's about 6 or 7 different ones that I'll look at all together, and then like as they kind of all come to a consensus, start to ratchet out more. So like I'll probably start scaling out once a number that I feel comfortable with, with EOS 100, 200, 300, just start scaling out a couple percent, 2-3%, weekly or whatever you got. And then as those indicators and everything start getting closer together and they all start having more of the same tune and they start aligning more, you can start to scale out at a higher percentage and whatever you're comfortable with. But I think Colin does include that. He includes a ton of stuff. In fact, let me see if I can pull it up. It's currently at 62. He uses the golden ratio, 51 to 49% ratio, the Bitcoin search Google term, yep. The halving to peak days, pi cycle top indicator, 2-year moving average, Bitcoin Trello low trend line, the Rupal Nupal chart, the Puel multiple, the MVRV Z score, the RHODL ratio, the reserve risk, and the Woo Bull Top Cat versus CVDD. So it's no slouch of an indicator in and of itself. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's got a dozen indicators in one indicator. So when you're using that, with the other ones, you're using 20. So yeah, it's pretty good. And of course, we'll be telegraphing on Twitter. The problem is you're going to have all these people who just got in brand new and don't understand cycles, and they're going to say that we're going to $4 million a Bitcoin, or $11 million a Bitcoin, and you're going to have the little lady at the bank telling you to buy crypto and that she's cashing out her 401k and stuff. I mean, there'll be plenty of top indicators that you will know based on us being here through some cycles and seeing what's going on. So yeah, then that's when we literally let them have some EOS at a high premium. All right, so if Proton, I don't know. I'm not sure what Proton is. All right. All right. Well, this has been really fun. XPR. I mean, then it sounds familiar. I just don't actually. It's not on my on my purview really. I've seen it on Nudex and stuff, but I've never bought it. But we've been here for a half an hour, so let's go ahead and end the stream, and I will talk to you guys shortly. Make some more EOS content, and we've laid the groundwork in the case for EOS for couple years now, and plenty of videos, and just a super solid case. So now we're gonna continue to do that. We're gonna have some fun now, and really just enjoy it. And when everything happens, be present in the moment and be thankful and understand that we're here for a good reason. So thank you for everybody watching, and I will talk to you next time. Of course, Stauffelbaker out.